Learning English doesn't have to be difficult or boring. In fact, you can improve your English every day, just by living your normal life. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed, there are many chances to use English. You don't need to be in a classroom or read a big textbook. You can practice speaking, listening, and thinking in English while doing simple things like shopping, cooking, using public transport, or even talking with friends. In this lesson, I will take you through my daily life and show you how I use English in real-life situations. You will learn useful words, phrases, and sentences that you can use right away. Whether you are at home, in a cafe, on the street, or at work, English is all around you. The more you use it, the more confident you will become. Let's start this journey together and learn English the natural way, step by step, through everyday life. 1. A productive morning, starting the day with purpose. Waking up early is not always easy, but I try to do it every day because I believe that the way you start your morning can shape the rest of your day. Every morning, my alarm goes off at exactly 6 a.m. Sometimes I feel tired and want to go back to sleep, especially if I stayed up late the night before. But I always try to fight that feeling. I say to myself, get up. You will feel better once you move. Then I take a deep breath, stretch my arms, and get out of bed. The first thing I do is say good morning to myself in English. It may sound simple, but it helps my brain start thinking in English from the moment I open my eyes. I say, good morning. Today is a new day. I am ready to learn something new. Next, I go to the bathroom. As I brush my teeth, I look in the mirror and practice a few English sentences. I say things like, I am brushing my teeth. I look sleepy, but I'm okay. Today I will smile more. These short sentences help me describe my actions and feelings in English. At first, I felt strange talking to myself, but now it feels like a small English lesson. After that, I go to the kitchen and boil some water to make coffee or tea. While waiting, I like to read a short quote or sentence in English. I keep a small notebook of motivational quotes near the kitchen. One of my favorites is, believe you can and you're halfway there. When I read the quote, I try to say it slowly, clearly, and with feeling. I repeat it 2 or 3 times. I think about the meaning and how it connects to my life. I say to myself, yes, I believe I can. I believe I can speak English well someday. Then I make my coffee. As I drink it, I sit quietly and look out the window. I think in English as I look at the sky, the trees, or people walking by. I describe what I see. The sky is light blue today. There is a small bird sitting on the fence. A man is walking his dog. This moment helps me feel peaceful and focused. Even though I'm not reading or listening to English, I am still practicing by thinking in English. Next, I prepare my breakfast. Sometimes I eat toast with butter and eggs. Sometimes I eat rice and vegetables. While cooking or eating, I turn on a slow English podcast. I don't understand everything, but I listen carefully. I try to catch small phrases. If I hear something like, start your day with a smile, I repeat it. I even say it with a smile on my face. I try to copy the speaker's voice, rhythm, and feeling. Sometimes I pause the podcast and repeat a sentence again and again until it feels natural. I say, start your day with a smile. Start your day with a smile. Start your day with a smile. This helps me with pronunciation and confidence. I don't worry about making mistakes. I just try to enjoy the sounds and rhythm of the language. While eating breakfast, I sometimes write a few sentences in English about how I feel. I write in my notebook, "I feel calm this morning. The coffee tastes good. I'm excited to learn more English today." These little habits help me build a connection between my everyday life and the English language. English is not just a subject I study. It becomes part of my routine, part of my thoughts, part of my voice. So, my morning is not just about waking up and eating breakfast. It's about waking up my mind, my heart, and my language skills. It's about choosing to make English part of my real life. 2. Exercising and learning English at the same time. I believe that taking care of my body and learning English can happen at the same time. I don't have a lot of free time, so I try to make the most of every moment. That's why I combine two important things: exercising and practicing English. Every morning, after I finish my coffee and breakfast, I change into my workout clothes. I wear a simple t-shirt, comfortable pants, and my running shoes. As I tie my shoelaces, I start thinking in English. I say to myself, I am getting ready to exercise. My body is strong, and my mind is ready. Let's enjoy this time. Before I leave the house, I put on my earphones and choose an English audio. Sometimes it's a slow podcast, sometimes a motivational talk, and sometimes an audiobook for English learners. I like to listen to voices that speak clearly and use simple words. When I start walking or jogging in the park, I focus on the rhythm of the voice. I listen carefully, even if I don't understand every word. If I hear a new word or sentence, I repeat it quietly while I walk. Stay focused. Keep going. You are doing great. Sometimes I repeat these phrases in my mind. Other times, I say them softly, like a whisper. I don't care if people look at me. I'm not shy anymore because I know I'm learning. This is my private English classroom in the park. I like to look around and describe what I see in English. The trees are green and tall. There is a woman walking her baby in a stroller. A little boy is riding a red bicycle. This helps me practice vocabulary related to nature, people, and daily life. The more I describe, the more I learn. I sometimes challenge myself by using full sentences. I see two birds flying in the sky. They look happy and free. A group of people are doing yoga on the grass. They are calm and peaceful. After walking or jogging for 20 to 30 minutes, I usually stop in a quiet spot to stretch. As I stretch my arms, legs, and back, I also stretch my mind. I repeat English phrases that give me strength. I am getting better every day. I am strong. I am focused. English is part of my life. I close my eyes and say these words slowly and deeply. I feel the connection between my body, my breath, and my language learning. It feels powerful. It feels real. Sometimes I use short workout videos on YouTube that are made for English learners. These videos tell you how to move while using easy English instructions like: breathe in, breathe out, lift your arms slowly, touch your toes and feel the stretch. I follow the moves and listen to the English. This helps me learn action verbs and commands in a natural way. The best part is, I'm moving, sweating, and learning all at once. If I have time, I record my own voice after exercising. I take out my phone and talk for 1 to 2 minutes. I say something like, "Today I walked for 30 minutes in the park. The weather was nice." I listened to an English podcast about happiness. I learned a new word, grateful. I feel grateful for my healthy body. I don't worry about mistakes. I just speak and record. Later, I can listen again and see how I improve. By mixing exercise and English practice, I make both my body and my brain stronger. It's a habit that gives me energy, health, and confidence. I don't need a classroom. I don't need a teacher. The world becomes my classroom and my voice becomes my teacher. Even if I don't have time for a full workout, I always try to do something small, like 10 jumping jacks or a short walk, while listening or thinking in English. A little every day makes a big difference. So now, exercise is not just for fitness. It's also my way to grow, to learn, and to move forward with my English. 3. Cooking and talking in English. Cooking is a big part of my daily life. I cook almost every day, and now I use that time to also practice English. I used to think I needed a desk or a quiet place to study English, but now I've learned something important. You can learn English anywhere, even in your kitchen. Before I cook, I always plan my meal. I open the fridge and look inside. I start thinking in English. I ask myself, what do I want to eat today? Do I have enough vegetables? Should I cook rice or noodles? Sometimes I even say these questions out loud. Speaking out loud helps my brain remember better. It also helps me feel more confident using English in daily life. Once I decide what to cook, I take out the ingredients. For example, if I want to make fried rice, I take out rice, eggs, onions, carrots, soy sauce, and oil. As I take each item, I name it in English. This is an egg. These are carrots. I need 2 spoons of oil. I speak slowly and clearly, as if I'm teaching someone. Sometimes I pretend I am on a cooking show and talk to an invisible audience. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to make delicious fried rice. First, we need some cooked rice. Then, we chop the vegetables. Don't forget the egg, it makes the rice tasty. I smile as I speak because it makes learning fun. I don't worry about sounding perfect. I just enjoy the moment. When I start cooking, I describe every step in English. I say, now, I'm heating the oil in the pan. I add the onions and stir them gently. The smell is so good. If I don't know how to say something, I pause and think. Later, I look it up. For example, one time I didn't know the word grate in English. I searched online and found out, to grate means to shred something into small pieces using a tool called a grater. Now I remember that word clearly because I used it while cooking. Sometimes I watch English cooking videos while preparing food. I choose videos that speak slowly and use simple words. I listen to how they describe the actions. Chop the onions finely. Boil the water. Season with salt and pepper. I repeat the sentences while doing the same action. It's like learning through doing. If I cook something special, I take a photo and write a short description in English. I made chicken soup today. It was warm and comforting. I used garlic, ginger, and fresh vegetables. This helps me practice writing, too. I share some of my food photos with friends who are learning English. We comment on each other's meals using English words like, looks delicious. Yummy. What ingredients did you use? It feels nice to connect with others while practicing English in a fun way. When I eat the food I cooked, I take a moment to say a few sentences in English. I say, I feel happy because I cooked this meal myself. This soup tastes better than the one I had last week. Next time, I will try using more herbs. Even when washing the dishes, I continue to think or speak in English. I'm washing the pan now. The water is hot. I'm almost done. These simple sentences may seem small, but they add up over time. My brain starts to feel more comfortable thinking in English, and I feel proud because I'm using my real life to learn, not just textbooks. Sometimes, I invite a friend or family member to cook with me. We speak only in English during the cooking time. It's fun, and we laugh a lot, especially when we forget a word and try to explain it with actions. Learning English in the kitchen makes my language practice warm, tasty, and full of life. Cooking is no longer just a chore, it becomes a chance to grow, to speak, and to smile. Now, every time I cook, I remind myself, this is not just food. This is learning. This is progress. This is my English journey. 4. Talking to myself in English. Some people think it's strange to talk to yourself, but for me, it's one of the best ways to practice English. I talk to myself in English every day. I do it in the morning, in the evening, when I walk alone, and even when I cook or clean. Simple, free, and powerful. At first, I felt shy and a little silly. I thought, what if someone hears me? But then I realized that talking to myself is private. It's just me and my voice. No one is judging me. No one is correcting me. I can be free, and I can be me. In the morning, when I wake up, I say to myself in English, "Good morning. Today is a new day." I feel a little sleepy, but I'm ready to learn. What's my plan for today? As I brush my teeth or wash my face, I continue the conversation. I slept well last night. I think I will wear my blue shirt today. Maybe I'll drink coffee first, then check my messages. I speak slowly and clearly. I imagine I am talking to a friend. Sometimes I look at the mirror and smile. I say, "Hey, you're doing great. Keep going. Your English is getting better." When I walk to the store or take the bus, I look around and describe what I see. That woman is holding a pink umbrella. The bus is late today. There's a new coffee shop on the corner. These short sentences help me connect English to real life. I don't need to remember long grammar rules. I just speak. I just think. Sometimes I ask myself questions and answer them, like a real conversation. What do you want to eat for lunch? Maybe I'll make a sandwich. Do you feel tired today? A little bit. But I think a walk will help. What did you do yesterday? I studied English and watched a movie. When I make mistakes, I don't stop. I just try again. It's okay to be wrong. The important thing is to keep going. I use different situations to practice. When I wash the dishes, these plates are clean now. I like the smell of soap. When I fold clothes, this shirt is soft. I wore it last Sunday. When I water my plants, you look thirsty. Here's some water. Grow strong and green. I also use English to talk about my feelings. I feel happy today. I'm a little stressed, but I can handle it. I'm proud of myself for speaking English every day. Talking to myself helps me learn emotional vocabulary. I can express joy, sadness, hope, fear, excitement, or worry, all in English. Sometimes, I even pretend I'm giving advice to someone. Don't give up. Just keep practicing. Your English will improve. I believe in you. This is not just language practice. It's self-care. It's motivation. When I feel nervous before a meeting or a phone call, I say, take a deep breath. You are ready. You can do this. And when I finish something well, I celebrate with words. Well done. That was great. I'm proud of me. Sometimes I record my voice on my phone. I listen later and notice how I speak. Do I speak clearly? Do I use natural expressions? I learn from my own voice. Over time, my English becomes smoother. I start thinking in English without trying. My sentences become longer and more natural. My confidence grows. So now, talking to myself in English is not strange. It's smart. It's brave. It's powerful. It's my way of learning, thinking, and expressing my life, one sentence at a time. 5. Shopping and thinking in English. Shopping is something I do almost every week. Sometimes I go to the supermarket. Sometimes I visit the local market. Sometimes I shop online. And now, I use every shopping trip as a way to practice and improve my English. Before I leave the house, I make a shopping list in English. I open my notebook or use my phone. I write things like eggs, milk, bread, shampoo, toothpaste, chicken, onions, tomatoes. While writing, I say the words out loud. I need to buy some eggs. Don't forget the rice. I also want to get something sweet, maybe cookies. This helps me remember vocabulary and also speak naturally. Even if I am not in an English-speaking country, I pretend that I'm going to an English-speaking store. It's like playing a game, but a game that helps me learn. When I walk to the store, I keep thinking in English. The weather is nice today. There are not many people on the street. I hope the store is not too crowded. As I enter the store, I look around and describe what I see. The fruit section is on the left. There are so many kinds of apples, red, green, and yellow. That woman is comparing prices. When I pick up items, I speak softly to myself. This yogurt is low fat. This bread looks fresh. How much is this bottle of olive oil? If I don't know a word, I try to describe it. This is a green vegetable. I don't know the name in English, but I think it's similar to spinach. Later, I look it up on Google or in a dictionary. For example, I once learned the word basil this way. I saw it in the market, didn't know the English word, and looked it up after I got home. Now I remember it well because I connected it with a real experience. While shopping, I practice short conversations in my head. Excuse me, how much is this? Where can I find the cheese? Can I pay with a card? If I feel brave, I actually say these sentences to the cashier or staff, if they understand English. If not, I still say them silently or softly to myself. It's okay. It's still practice. Sometimes I go shopping with a friend who is also learning English. We decide to speak only English during our trip. It's fun and educational. We laugh when we forget words and help each other remember. Here's an example. Me, what do you call this vegetable in English? Friend, I think it's eggplant. Me, oh yes. In British English, it's aubergine, right? Friend, yes. You remembered. After shopping, we review what we bought using English. I got bananas, yogurt, and chicken breast. You bought some tea and cookies, right? This is a good way to practice using past tense naturally. When I come home, I unpack my bags and describe everything I bought. I speak slowly, like I'm making a video. Today, I bought fresh vegetables. I got carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. I also bought some tofu and 2 bottles of water. I spent about $20. Then I talk about my feelings. I feel happy because I found everything I needed. I feel tired, but the walk was good for my health. Next time, I will go earlier so it's not too crowded. If I shop online, I still use English. I read product names, descriptions, reviews, and prices. I learn phrases like add to cart, free shipping, expected delivery, 2 to 3 days. Shopping online helps me learn computer and business English without even trying. I also use English to compare products. This shampoo is cheaper, but the other one has better reviews. Should I choose the red one or the blue one? When the package arrives, I say, my order is here. Let me open it and check the items. Everything looks perfect. In the end, shopping is not just about spending money or buying things. For me, it's a great chance to practice speaking, reading, thinking, and even writing in English. Every bag of groceries becomes a small English lesson. Every product teaches me a new word. Every receipt becomes a memory of learning. And most of all, every shopping trip becomes a step forward in my English journey. 6. Cleaning and learning words around me. Cleaning is not just about making my home look nice. For me, cleaning is also a chance to learn English. I use this daily activity to discover new words, practice speaking, and think in English. Every morning or evening, I choose a place to clean. Sometimes it is my bedroom. Sometimes it is the kitchen. Other times, I clean the living room or the bathroom. Before I start, I say to myself, okay, today I will clean the kitchen. Let's find all the dirty dishes and wash them. I look around carefully. I use English to describe what I see. There are 2 plates on the table. The glass is empty. The floor has some crumbs near the chair. As I pick up things, I speak slowly and clearly. I will wash these plates now. The sponge looks old. Maybe I should buy a new one. I like this soap because it smells like lemon. When I wash the dishes, I think about the words related to water and cleaning. The water is warm. I use the sponge to clean. The soap makes bubbles. Sometimes, I feel tired, but I remind myself, cleaning is good exercise. I can learn English and stay healthy. When I clean the floor with a mop, I describe my actions. I dip the mop in the water. I move the mop slowly. The floor is getting shiny. If I find something dirty or broken, I say, this window is dirty. I need to clean it. The chair has a scratch. Maybe I can fix it later. I use this chance to learn new words for furniture and house items. Table, chair, sofa, shelf, curtain, window, door, carpet, lamp. I try to say full sentences about these things. The sofa is soft and comfortable. The curtain is blue. I open the window to let fresh air in. When I clean my bedroom, I practice organizing words. I fold my clothes. I put books on the shelf. I make my bed. Sometimes, I listen to English music or podcasts while cleaning. This helps me hear English in a natural way. I repeat the words I hear and try to copy the sentences. For example, keep your room clean. Cleanliness is important. A tidy space helps you think better. When I finish cleaning a room, I say proudly, the room looks clean and fresh. I did a good job today. I feel happy and relaxed now. Sometimes, I take pictures of my clean room and write short sentences about it. This helps me practice writing in English. My room is clean and bright. I like my tidy desk. Cleaning is fun when I listen to music. When I clean the bathroom, I use special words for hygiene. Toilet, sink, shower, mirror, towel, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste. I say sentences like, I clean the mirror with glass cleaner. The towel is wet, so I hang it to dry. I brush my teeth every morning and night. Sometimes, I invite family members to clean with me. We talk in English. Can you wipe the table? Please take out the trash. Let's clean the floor together. This teamwork makes cleaning more fun and helps us practice English together. When I'm tired, I sit down and review all the new words I learned during cleaning. I say them out loud several times: table, mop, sponge, soap, shelf, curtain, window, chair. I also use cleaning to practice grammar. I tell myself what I did, what I am doing, and what I will do. I cleaned the kitchen yesterday. I am cleaning my bedroom now. I will clean the living room tomorrow. Cleaning gives me a sense of control and accomplishment. It's not only good for my home but also good for my mind and language skills. I remember one day when I was very tired but still cleaned the house. After finishing, I felt proud and said to myself, even when I am tired, I can do small things. I am strong and patient. This positive feeling helps me keep learning English every day. Cleaning is more than a chore. It is my classroom, my practice space, and my motivation. Every dust particle I wipe away is a new English word I learn. Every sweep of the broom is a step closer to my goal. Every clean corner is a victory. And that is why cleaning is part of my daily English learning. 7. Cooking and describing food in English. Cooking is one of my favorite activities. When I cook, I not only make delicious food but also practice my English. Cooking is like a fun lesson where I learn new words and sentences every day. Before I start cooking, I think about the recipe. I read it in English. Sometimes I use a book, but most of the time I search on the internet. I look at the ingredients list and instructions. For example, a recipe for fried rice might say, 2 cups of cooked rice, 1 tablespoon of oil, 2 eggs, beaten, half a cup of chopped onions, soy sauce to taste. I say these words slowly and clearly: 2 cups of rice, 1 tablespoon of oil, 2 eggs. If I don't understand a word, I stop and look it up. One time, I didn't know what beaten eggs meant. I watched a short video and learned that it means to mix the eggs with a fork or whisk until smooth. When I gather ingredients, I name them out loud: rice, eggs, onions, oil, soy sauce. I need a frying pan and a spatula. Let me wash the vegetables first. As I cook, I describe each step. I heat the pan. I add oil to the pan. Now, I crack the eggs into the pan. I stir the eggs quickly. I add the rice and onions. I mix everything well. I add soy sauce for flavor. Sometimes, I practice using new words about cooking tools and actions. Frying pan, pot, knife, chopping board, stove, oven, whisk, spatula. Chop, stir, boil, fry, bake, mix, cut, peel. I say sentences with these words. I chop the onions carefully. I stir the rice so it does not burn. The soup is boiling. I bake bread in the oven. Cooking also teaches me words about tastes and smells. Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, spicy, fresh, delicious, tasty, burnt, raw, cooked. I practice describing food. The onions smell sweet. The soup tastes spicy. The chicken is cooked perfectly. Don't eat raw eggs because they are dangerous. While cooking, I imagine I am talking to a friend in English. I explain what I am doing step by step. I'm making fried rice. First, I heat the pan. Then, I add oil and fry the eggs. Next, I add rice and onions. Finally, I add soy sauce. Simple and quick. Sometimes I record short videos of my cooking and speak in English. This helps me practice pronunciation and speaking fluently. After cooking, I taste the food and describe it. This fried rice is salty but delicious. The eggs are soft and fluffy. I like the fresh taste of onions. If the food does not taste good, I think about how to fix it. Maybe I used too much salt. Next time, I will cook it longer. I will add more vegetables for flavor. Cooking also helps me learn about food culture. I read about dishes from English-speaking countries. For example, I learned about English breakfast, American burgers, or Australian meat pies. I try to cook these foods and say their names in English. When I cook with family or friends, we speak English together. We share recipes and practice new words. Can you pass the salt, please? Do you want to try some soup? This dish is called spaghetti carbonara. Cooking is a fun way to use English naturally. It helps me learn words about food, cooking, and tastes. It also teaches me how to speak step-by-step instructions. Most importantly, cooking in English makes me feel confident. Even if I make mistakes, I keep practicing. I know that every meal I cook is a chance to improve my English and enjoy delicious food. 8. Going to work and talking about my job in English. Every day, I go to work. Going to work is not just about earning money. It is also a great chance to practice English. I use my job to learn new words, practice speaking, and understand how to talk about my daily activities in English. Preparing to go to work. In the morning, I wake up early. I get dressed and prepare everything I need. While I get ready, I talk to myself in English. Today is Monday. I need to wear my blue shirt and black pants. I will take my bag and lunchbox. I practice sentences about my clothes. I wear a shirt, pants, and shoes. My bag is heavy because I have many documents. I need to bring my phone and keys. If I take the bus or train, I talk about the journey. I wait at the bus stop. The bus is late today. I sit near the window and look outside. Sometimes, I meet my coworkers on the way. I say simple greetings. Good morning. How are you today? Did you have breakfast? Talking about my job. At work, I explain my job in English. Sometimes people ask me, "What do you do for work?" I answer with simple sentences. I work in an office. I am a teacher. I help customers. I manage projects. I learn new words related to my job. For example, if I work in an office, I learn words like computer, printer, meeting, report, email, schedule, deadline, colleague, manager. I practice sentences. I send emails every morning. We have a meeting at 10 o'clock. My manager is very kind. The deadline for the report is Friday. Sometimes, I have to explain problems or ask questions. I use phrases like, "Can you help me with this report? I have a problem with the computer. What time is the meeting?" How do I use this software? When I finish my tasks, I say, I completed my work. I finished the report. I sent the email to the client. Talking about work feelings and challenges. Sometimes, work is hard. I feel tired or stressed. I try to say this in English. Today is a busy day. I have many tasks to do. I feel tired but I keep working. When I solve a problem, I feel happy. I say, I fixed the problem. I helped my colleague. I learned something new today. If I need a break, I say, I will take a coffee break. I need to rest for a few minutes. Let's go outside for fresh air. Talking about work plans and goals. I also talk about my future plans. Tomorrow, I will meet the new client. Next week, I will start a new project. I want to improve my skills. I use English to talk about goals. I want to learn more about computers. I want to speak English better. My goal is to get a promotion. Socializing at work. At lunch or after work, I talk with my coworkers in English. What did you eat for lunch? Do you like this restaurant? What are your plans for the weekend? Sometimes, I join group conversations and listen carefully. I try to understand and speak when I can. I practice polite phrases. Excuse me, can I say something? That's interesting. I agree with you. Reflecting on my work day. At the end of the day, I review what I did. I say to myself, today was a good day. I learned new English words. I spoke with my coworkers. I worked hard and finished my tasks. Sometimes, I write a short diary in English about my work. Today, I worked on a big project. I talked with my manager and learned new things. I feel tired but happy. Using English to improve my work life. I try to use English in emails, messages, and calls. I read articles and watch videos about my job in English. This helps me understand better and improve my language skills. Going to work is more than a routine. It is my daily classroom. Every conversation and task helps me practice English and grow. 9. Shopping and asking for help in English. Shopping is a common activity in daily life, and it is also a great chance to practice English. Whether I go to a supermarket, a clothing store, or a market, I use many English words and sentences to communicate. Preparing to shop. Before I go shopping, I make a list in English. Milk, bread, eggs, vegetables, chicken. T-shirt, jeans, shoes. I say the list out loud. I need to buy milk and bread. I also want a new t-shirt. Sometimes I ask a friend or family member. Can you help me check the list? Do I need anything else? At the store, asking for help. When I arrive at the store, I look for what I want. If I cannot find an item, I ask a store employee. Excuse me, where can I find the milk? Can you help me? I'm looking for toothpaste. Do you have fresh vegetables? The employee might say. The milk is in aisle 5. Toothpaste is on the left side. Yes, we have fresh vegetables near the entrance. I practice polite phrases to ask. Could you please help me? I'm looking for. Do you have? Talking about prices and payment. When I find what I want, I check the price. How much is this? Is there a discount? Is this on sale? At the checkout, I say, I want to pay by cash. Can I pay with a credit card? Do you have a membership card? Sometimes, I ask for a receipt. Can I have a receipt, please? Do you give a bag? Shopping for clothes. Shopping for clothes is fun but can be tricky. I ask. Do you have this in size medium? Can I try this on? Where is the fitting room? I describe what I want. I want a blue shirt. I like this dress, but it is too big. This jacket is warm and comfortable. When I try clothes, I say. The shirt fits well. The pants are too long. I don't like the color. At the market or local shops. In a market, I practice bargaining. How much for 2 kilos of apples? Can you give me a better price? I will buy if you reduce the price. I also ask about freshness. Are these vegetables fresh? When were these fruits picked? Asking for directions in a shopping mall. If I visit a big mall, I might get lost. I ask for directions. Excuse me, where is the food court? How do I get to the electronics store? Is there a restroom nearby? People answer politely. Go straight and turn left. It's on the second floor. The restroom is next to the elevator. Talking about shopping experiences. After shopping, I share my experiences. I bought fresh vegetables today. The clothes were on sale. I found a nice gift for my friend. I also talk about problems. The cashier was slow. They didn't have my size. I lost my receipt. Practicing English at the store. Shopping helps me practice English in many ways. Using polite questions. Talking about products and prices. Describing clothes and items. Asking for help and directions. I listen carefully and try to repeat new words. Aisle, discount, receipt, fitting room, cashier, membership card, fresh, sale. Real-life example. One day, I went to a supermarket and needed to find cooking oil. I asked the employee, "Excuse me, where can I find cooking oil?" He answered, "It's in aisle 7, near the rice and noodles." I thanked him and went there. When I saw 2 kinds of oil, I asked, "Which one is better for frying?" The employee said, "The sunflower oil is good for frying." I bought it and said, "Thank you very much for your help." 10. Using public transportation and asking questions in English. Using public transportation like buses, trains, or taxis is a part of daily life for many people. It's also a perfect chance to practice English in real situations. I learn how to ask questions, understand directions, and talk about my travel plans. Planning the trip. Before I travel, I plan my route. I check the bus or train schedule online or at the station. I say sentences like, "I need to take bus number 15. The train leaves at 8:30 a.m. I will get off at Central Station." I practice reading signs and maps in English. For example, next stop, Main Street. Exit here for the museum. Platform 3 for trains to the airport. Buying tickets. When I arrive at the station or bus stop, I may need to buy a ticket. I use English phrases like, "1 ticket to downtown, please." "How much is a ticket?" "Do you have a return ticket?" "Is there a student discount?" At ticket machines, I read the instructions. Select destination. Choose one-way or round trip. Insert money. Take your ticket. If I am not sure, I ask a staff member. "Can you help me buy a ticket?" "Which ticket do I need for the airport?" Waiting and boarding. While waiting, I listen to announcements in English. The bus to Central Station will arrive in 5 minutes. Please stand behind the yellow line. Next stop, City Hall. When the bus or train arrives, I say, "Is this bus going to the airport? Does this train stop at Main Street?" If I want to sit, I ask politely, "Excuse me, is this seat taken? May I sit here?" Asking for directions on public transport. Sometimes, I need to ask about stops or transfers. Which stop is closest to the museum? Do I need to change buses? How many stops until the city center? If I'm unsure, I ask fellow passengers. "Excuse me, does this bus go to the train station? Can you tell me when to get off?" Paying and getting off. When it's time to pay, I might say, "How do I pay the fare? Can I use a contactless card?" When my stop comes, I say, "Is this my stop? Can you tell me when we reach Central Park?" I get off carefully and say, "Thank you." Handling problems and emergencies. Sometimes things don't go as planned. If I miss my stop, I say, "I missed my stop. What should I do? Where is the next station?" If the bus or train is crowded, I say, "It's very busy today. I have to stand because all seats are taken." In case of emergencies, I learn important phrases. Help. I need assistance. Is there an emergency exit? Please call the police. Talking about my public transport experience. After traveling, I share my experience. The bus was on time. The train was clean and comfortable. I had to wait a long time. I met a nice person on the bus. I also talk about improvements. I wish there were more buses in the evening. The announcements were loud and clear. The ticket machine was easy to use. Vocabulary and useful phrases. Words to remember. Bus stop, ticket, fare, platform, schedule, transfer, conductor, rush hour, seat, driver, route. Common phrases. Where is the bus stop? How much is a ticket to the city center? Does this bus go to the airport? I need to get off at the next stop. Real-life example. One day, I needed to take the bus to the library. At the bus stop, I asked a lady, "Excuse me, does this bus go to the library?" She said, "Yes, get on this bus. It stops near the library." I got on and thanked her. When the bus stopped, I asked the driver, "Is this the library stop?" He nodded and said, "Yes, this is it." I got off and felt happy because I used English well. Conclusion: what we learned from daily life in English. As you can see, English is not only something you study, it's something you live. Every small activity in your day is a chance to grow. Whether you're brushing your teeth, talking with a shopkeeper, asking for directions, or riding the bus, you can use English to connect with the world. Real learning happens when English becomes a part of your thinking, speaking, and daily habits. Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. The most important thing is to keep trying and to use English every day, even in small ways. Over time, these small steps will lead to big results. So, keep learning. Keep speaking. And remember, your daily life is your best classroom. The story is over. Please support us by subscribing and liking to follow our channel. Your support means a lot to us. I hope you learned something new today. See you next time. Thanks for watching.